Hey guys, welcome back to the channel Journey to Understand the Bible. I'm your host Damien, and in our last episode, we basically learned about how the world went wrong and the story of Noah and how the giants, how the God after all these people was created, that the men started taking the women and the giants started being with women and all kind of crazy stuff was happening, and God was like, no, we're not gonna do this." And He told Noah that He's gonna destroy the world, and He's gonna spare his family and two of each animal and each creature that crawls around on the ground, and all the bird, or two of each bird, and everything else is gonna get wiped out. And so today in chapter 7, we're going to learn about how that played out during the flood, and we're going to start from the flood covers the earth. When everything was ready, the Lord said to Noah, "Go in the boat with all your family, for among all the people of the earth I can see that you alone are righteous. Take with you 7 pairs, male and female, of each animal I have approved for eating and for sacrifice, and take 1 pair of each of the others. Also, take 7 pairs of every kind of bird. There must be a male and a female in each pair to ensure that all life will survive on earth after the flood. 7 days from now, I will make the rains pour down on earth, and it will rain for 40 days and 40 nights, until I have wiped from the earth all the living creatures I have created." All right, let's see if we could just scroll that. So Noah did everything as the Lord commanded. Noah was 600 years old when the flood covered the earth. He went on board the boat to escape the flood, he and his wife and his sons and their wives. With them were all the various kinds of animals, those approved for eating and for sacrifice, and those that were not, along with all the birds and all the small animals that scurried along the ground. They entered the boat in pairs, male and female, just as God commanded Noah. After 7 days, the waters of the flood came and covered the earth. When Noah was 600 years old, on the 17th day of the 2nd month, all the underground waters erupted from the earth, and the rain fell in mighty torrents from the sky. The rain continued to fall for 40 days and 40 nights. Let's see. That very day, Noah had gone into the boat with his wife and sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and their wives. With them in the boat were pairs of every kind of animal, domestic and wild, large and small, along with birds of every kind. 2 by 2 they came into the boat, representing every living thing that breathes. A male and female of each kind entered, just as God had commanded Noah. Then the Lord closed the door behind them. For 40 days, the flood waters grew deeper, covering the ground and lifting the boat high above the earth. As the waters rose higher and higher above the ground, the boat floated safely on the surface. Finally, the water covered even the highest mountain on earth, rising more than 22 feet above the highest peaks. All living things on earth died: birds, domestic animals, wild animals, small animals that scurried along the ground, all the people. Everything that breathed and lived on dry land died. God wiped out every living thing on the earth, and people, livestock, small animals that scurried along the ground, and the birds of the sky, all were destroyed. The only people who survived were Noah and those with him in the boat. And the flood waters covered the earth for 150 days. Dang. So almost like 6 months it was freaking flooding, right? Hold on, you guys can't see that. Yeah. And that's how chapter 7 ends. Okay, so as a recap, so basically, God, I didn't know that he had. I mean, I was wondering what they ate. So basically, he had seven pairs of animals that was just specifically for sacrificing and eating. And I mean, I guess, and I didn't realize how deep the water was. So I guess the tallest mountains, it was 22 feet taller. I mean, the water was 22 feet deeper than that. So I guess nothing unless you were a fish or something, you would not surviving the flood. And all the birds, they didn't have anywhere. I mean, I guess they didn't have any food to eat because I thought, well, the birds could just fly and probably stay on top of floating, all could gather around on top of the boat or whatever. But I guess they didn't have anything to eat though because everything was all flooded out for 6 months. So I mean, wow, that was a little dramatic. I mean, if you once you think about it, it's like everything was killed off, and it doesn't really get into when it was flooding. You know, like if I was a person, I knew that there was a boat. I seen this guy building this big boat. Well, I guess they didn't even know what a boat was, and they probably didn't even know. So yeah, they probably didn't know to go try to run to that giant boat. Or if they did, those animals. If he had like bears and tigers and lions and stuff like that on the boat, they didn't want none of that kind of smoke. Probably. I mean, I don't know, but you would think that like all of those people would have ran to the boat because once they seen, but then they probably just caught them off guard. It's probably like I don't know, like a tsunami or something where they just kind of just got swept away and didn't have time to think about going to the boat. I'm not sure. But yeah, that was chapter 7, and yeah, I think we get into some more of the good part of the Bible where you start hearing about like some action because of that one chapter where we were just learning everybody's name and how old they got. Yeah, this one's at least we got to hear about something happening. But yeah, we're going to continue with chapter 8 and find out what happens after the flood. After the flood, what happened. And if you like what you heard, don't hesitate. Just go to the next video. Talk to you later. Bye.